Thanks for your company. An acid attack on your body would dramatically change your life. Most survivors of an acid attack are forced to give up their education, occupation, and other important activities in their lives. Now, this because recovering from the trauma takes most of their time, while the deformity also cripples them. In the report you're about to see, my colleague Patricia Gasser takes a trip to Sakwa in the Central Region and tells the story of an acid survivor.
Meet 37-year-old Isaac Yao Dankwa. A terrible incident which happened 7 years ago changed his life forever. Armed robbers attacked him when he was driving his taxi and poured acid on his face. The acid made the skin tissue on his face to melt away, while the dangerous liquid seeped deep into his eyeballs, almost dissolving both eyes. Isaac may have survived the acid attack, but his entire life has been shattered by the event of that night.
Me driver, I'm a Swedro, Agona Swedro.
I was a driver at Agona Swedro when two men decided to board my car to Adeso. I agreed to transport them and then bring them back to Swedro before payment. On our way, I overheard one say to the other, "What should we do to him?"
The port was one, me slow down, and baby, pen on your teaching in Bissan, your front and say, yeah,
Out of curiosity, I turned to ask what he meant by that. Before I could blink, he poured the acid on my face. I couldn't see anything. I was burning.
And no, I'm yes, I'm a man who she view. Indeed, a honeymoon, and almost say, Mimi Sifu, Namefa.
He got down and pulled me out of my car, demanding for my car keys. I wondered, if you needed my car, why would you do this to me? So I locked the steering wheel and threw the keys into the bush. That angered them. One later said to the other, "Why don't we just kill him and go?"
The scars left by the acid are skin deep. He has lost the use of both eyes and nose. Isaac is not just blind. He has a layer of skin which covers his eyes and his nose, making him look like an unfinished work of art. The result of the surgery makes him sound nasal because both nostrils are almost fully blocked. He breathes through his mouth. The acid didn't just dissolve Isaac's facial tissues, it melted his self-worth and crushed everything in his life.
I feel really sad most of the time because when I remember how I used to be and now what I have become, I feel really sad. Talking to you now reminds me of my pain, and that makes me really, really sad.
He lives here in Sakwa, a small town in Ewutu Senior West District. This morning, Isaac is sitting under the cocoa tree staring into skies as if he can actually see something. The thought of being dependent now on people makes him sad. There are days Isaac does nothing but cry. But with a thin layer of skin covering his eyes, Isaac has no tears. He is the only child of his parent. His father was so stricken with grief after the incident. The old man died after a few years. Isaac lives with his mother who has troubles of her own. She is deaf in one ear.
Metisa umama nso ase nasuba kun esi kakra. Nti eba na sa we den ne kasa o friend na o den ti.
My friend I just me friend kese pa.
I have to scream out to call my mother anytime I need help. She is deaf in one ear, and it poses a lot of challenge, especially when I need her at night.
And son no beti. Anajukra modasa no hia mo so I will say
na Joseph hia wa me sorry me baby order nti me sorry a na me de me sako kan.
No sorry.
Many who live with such disfiguring scars have great difficulty in finding jobs, sometimes even finding a life partner. He tells me the only lady who decided to marry him was stopped by her parents due to his condition. Isaac needs surgery to fix his nose and a job. He tells me it is sometimes difficult for him to get money for food. He and his mother rely solely on some of the farm produce she brings home.
Some friends have been helping me out. Most times, my mother will have to sell some farm produce to get money for our upkeep.
7 years of pain. Isaac lives with the trauma of being maimed as the depressing grip of loneliness fills his empty soul every passing moment. But he has hopes of getting a chance back at life. Though he might never see again, Isaac wants to work. He wants to use the little courage left in him to do something useful, something more than just sitting his life away under this tree. Patricia Gasu, JoyNews, Sakwa.
A really disturbing story there, but we can all in our small way contribute something to make life a little easier for Isaac Dankwa. You can send your donations via mobile money on 0540122612, 0540122612. Alternatively, you can send it through the Barclays Bank. We'll be giving you the account name and details later.